I don't know about you guys, but I spent the majority of my life living on autopilot. I would just go, 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 and then I would get to the end of my week and not even being able to tell you what I did because I wasn't present for my life. Okay. So today I'm going to talk about a simple practice that I've heard about that can really help to turn off that autopilot and help me to live a life that feels a bit more intentional instead of just go, go, go. Like I'm a bit more intentional about my life and planning it and thinking about it and, doing it on purpose. And this is what is called a life audit. You can do it daily, weekly, monthly, however you want to do it, but I recommend at least doing it weekly. And we're going to talk about the weekly part today, but you can do it obviously based on whatever works for your schedule. Doing a weekly life audit usually takes only 15 minutes, a 15-minute meeting with yourself once a week to make sure that the life that you're working so hard to build is actually one that you want, is actually aligned with your values and your needs. So the number one excuse that a lot of us have for not doing the things that we should be doing is that we don't have the time. Okay, I get it, right? I'm a busy attorney. I work a lot of hours and I understand being busy. But this isn't something that you add into your list that just takes up your time. This is something that you can do to give you your time back, to make sure that the time that you're spending on whatever you're spending it on is actually aligned with the life that you want, right? Make sure that it makes sure that you're not wasting your energy or your time on things that don't matter. If that's your excuse, like I hope that helps. So I'm going to talk about 3 reasons why this practice is so powerful. So my goal for this video is that by the end, you'll be convinced to start implementing a weekly life audit so that you can start living a life that's a lot more intentional, because autopilot is how we get to the end of our lives and kind of like ask ourselves, like, what did I do? Because you weren't really present for your life. So reason number 1 why you should start doing a life audit. The audit is your moment, your time with yourself that helps you to stop reacting to life and instead help you to start directing your life. So if your life was a movie, you're not just an actor. You're not just playing whatever role other people want you to play. You're actually the director, the one calling the shots, the one setting the boundaries, the one determining what it is that you want, right? You're not just acting, you're directing. That's what this life audit helps you to do. It allows you to get out of the driver's seat of your life and actually look at the map of your life and really trying to see where you're going. If there needs to be a U-turn, if there needs to be a different direction that needs to be taken, it gives you time to sit down and determine that for yourself. Like, I know for me, I used to always have like a really packed calendar. Like I said, y'all, I'm an attorney. We tend to be very busy people. I would look at my calendar and I would really ask, like, is this important to me? Like, will this lead me to the life that I really want? Because of doing life audits, I was able to take off so many things on my calendar that just didn't matter to me. And honestly, it gave me so much of my time back where I'm actually doing the things that I really want to do, like this YouTube channel and other things that really just makes me happy and fulfills me. So the real reason behind this life audit is it really helps you to stop letting your schedule and other people be the boss of you, right? And it allows you, like I said earlier, to call the shots in your own life. So then you start running your life, running your week based on what matters to you instead of just letting the week run you ragged and allowing everybody else to like just tell you what to do. It helps you to kind of take back control of your own life and allow you to have a say in your own life, which is so important. Okay. Reason number 2 why you should do a life audit is it exposes the shoulds, the rules, the external rules that other people have for you. The audit is where you find all the invisible rules that you're following that you probably don't even know you're following. It puts a spotlight on all the things that you do out of obligation, not out of desire. It also helps you to set boundaries, but we'll talk about that. But I do remember looking at my calendar, like looking at recurring things that I had on my calendar. And in my audit, I would ask myself, why am I really doing this? Right? It just allows me to sit and evaluate my life and making sure that the things that I'm doing are actually things that matter to me. But there were many times where I would go on my calendar and when I asked myself that question, like, why am I doing this? It usually was a reason that I didn't want to, but that I felt like I should, right? It was like, oh, I'm doing this because I should do this. Like, that's what a good person does. That's what everyone expects of me, but it wasn't what I really wanted to do. And doing this life audit allowed me to see, like what I was spending my time on. It helped me to decide what it is that I want to keep doing and what I don't, right? And there were many times where I would ask myself that question, and I realized it was something that I felt like I should do. It wasn't something that I really wanted to do. And I decided, it wasn't aligned with my values. And so I didn't do it. But if it wasn't for me stopping, even for just 15 minutes a week to do that, I would have never realized it. And I would have just kept going on autopilot and doing all the things that other people wanted me to do. And I would have never sat down and decided what I wanted to do for my life. The audit made it clear, and everything so clear to me that I couldn't ignore it anymore. And it gave me the courage to finally say no, because I think when you see the evidence, when you can look at the thing, when you can be more intentional, when you can see it, right? I think for me, it gave me the courage, right, to say no. It was something that I repeatedly saw on my calendar, and it was something I generally did not want to do. And so it was like, I don't know, for whatever reason, it made me more courageous to set more healthier boundaries in my life and in my calendar. But to go even deeper on this, doing a life audit is a wonderful tool for deprogramming, right? Deprogramming from societal's rules and family rules and all of that, right? Because you're able to see exactly where it is that you're living by somebody else's rules. And then you can start to choose your own, right? It's very practical. And I love things that are practical, and it's very obvious and it's hard to ignore. Reason number 3 why you should do a life audit: it connects what you do to how you want to feel. Okay, so this doing a life audit connects your big abstract goals, because we often have big goals that are not even specific enough. Like, I want peace, I want fulfillment, I want to be well, whatever your big goal is. Want to be rich, like whatever it is, it helps you to connect that big goal to small daily actions, right? So that again, you feel a lot more aligned with what you want. And alignment is the key to fulfillment, in my opinion. And the more that what you do every day is aligned with your bigger vision for your life, like that's when you start feeling like you're going somewhere and you feel more on purpose when you go about your life. And so in order to do that, like, it's important to know what your big goal is, like your definition for success. I actually have a free resource for you guys. It shouldn't take more than 10 minutes unless you want to sit down and reflect a bit longer. That will help you to come up with just your one word. What is the one thing in your life that matters more than anything else in your life, right? It helps you to come up with that one word, your biggest value, right? So when I did this exercise, I'll put the link down below for you guys. So it helps you to come up with a definition of success that feels true to you, right? That's actually what you think, not what other people think. So let's say you do this exercise. I'll put the link down below. Let's say you do this exercise and your one word is freedom, right? So then when you're doing your weekly audit, you then ask yourself 2 things. Like, 1, you reflect, like, what did I do this week that made me feel free, right? So you're being more intentional again. You're asking these questions. You're in charge of your life, okay? Like, you're the main character. And then you also ask, what can I do next week to create more freedom, right? And then you're planning these things out, and you're putting actual daily tasks that you can do that will allow you to feel that freedom. Let's say your word, like my word right now is well-being. I'm really big on my wellness. So like, today's a Sunday as I'm recording this. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to be like, what did I do last week that made me feel well, right? That contributed to my well-being. And then write that down. And then I ask, what can I do next week, right, to create more of that well-being, that feeling of wellness? And then I can think about what I can add onto my life. Like, I'll give you guys a quick example of this, right? I realized that I've been slacking on drinking my water. My hydration has not been where it's supposed to be. And so when I was reflecting on this, you don't always have to write these things down. It can just be you just sitting down and thinking about it. And I was like, you know what? Like, I'm not drinking as much water as I should have. Okay. So then I'm like, okay, so what can I do? What can I do to create that feeling of wellness? And obviously hydration is a big part of wellness. I realized, I want something cuter. I want something that makes me want to drink water. I went on Amazon and I bought these little things and I added some lime and stuff in there to make drinking water feel more exciting for me. And just like that, I'm drinking more water, and it was because I was able to stop and ask those questions so I can, decide what to do next, right? To improve my life in that way. And the real reason for this is that building a life that feels good is not built someday, like in the future, right? We always waiting on someday for something to happen. But it's really built in the small choices that we make right now, right? And doing these consistent life audits, make sure that the small choices that you're making are actually adding up to the life that you want, and that you're not just like sleeping through your life, like you're actively participating in creating a life that feels good for you. So again, I will have a free resource for you guys if you just don't know what your word is, you don't know what it is that you want to focus on in your life right now, like what matters to you. It will take you through it, and you will come out with the one word that you're going to use when you're doing your life audit. And when you're doing your life audit, really like figuring out, what did I do last week that helped me with that word? And what can I do to like make sure that I am, that I'm making progress towards that thing that I said that I want. So I hope that helped. I hope you guys are convinced to start doing life audits. They're so important. Um, this is also like a business concept. Like when you own a business, you obviously want to audit to make sure that you're making progress towards the goals that you have. And I think our life should be our business as well, right? Our most important business should be our personal life. So I hope that helped. Let me know down below in the comments if you have any questions for me, or if you clicked on the link and you found your word and you want to share your one word with us. And yeah, that's it. Go ahead and like and subscribe if you'd like, and I will see you in the next one.